Sleeping pills target the same regions in your brain that alcohol does. Thus, they're part of the same general class of drugs, that being a sedative. They effectively knock out the higher regions of your brain in order to put you to sleep. And if you were to actually compare natural deep sleep brain activity to that induced by sleeping pills, you'll find that the sleeping pill group has much more deficient deep sleep. They lack that deep brainwave activity during the night. But this also comes along with many unwanted side effects, including things like next day grogginess, daytime forgetfulness, and slowed reaction times that you can imagine are probably going to impact activities like driving. And get this, that next day grogginess is going to lead to what? You reaching for more cups of coffee through that following day. And that caffeine, in turn, is going to make it harder for you to fall asleep at night, worsening the insomnia. So, what do? You go and increase your dosage to combat the caffeine that you took, and this only amplifies the next day grogginess, which leads to higher caffeine consumption. And now you're on this perpetual vicious loop of consuming and consuming. Another unpleasant feature of sleeping pills is what they call rebound insomnia. When an individual stops taking these medications, they frequently suffer far worse sleep, sometimes even worse than what led them to seek out the pills to begin with. And then, once the patient comes off the drug for a night and has miserable sleep as a result, they often go right back to doing what? Taking the drug the following night, creating a dependency on this drug. And this shouldn't be surprising, as the majority of prescription sleeping pills do fall into that addictive category. But despite all of that, do these pills actually work? Here's the irony: many individuals experience only a slight increase in sleep from these medications, and the benefit is far more subjective than objective. In this study, 2012, they examined all published studies up to the date on newer forms of sleeping pills that most people took. They considered 65 separate drug placebo comparisons, meaning they compared the drug to a placebo, which made up almost 4,500 individuals. And what they found was that overall, participants felt as if they fell asleep faster and slept more soundly with fewer awakenings during the night relative to the placebo group. But when they actually looked at the sleep recordings, it showed that there was no difference in how soundly the individuals actually slept. Both the placebo and the sleeping pill reduced the time it took people to fall asleep, which was between 10 and 30 minutes, but the change was not statistically different between the placebo group and the group that was given the medication, meaning objectively, there was no added benefit of the sleeping pill when compared to the placebo. Isn't the mind an interesting thing?